So I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time now. I think anybody who's seen any of my other videos will probably know that I don't really believe that objective good and evil or objective right and wrong exists. But I still think that we each need some sort of code to live our lives, some sort of moral code. And I guess we could just live our lives instinctively and follow our hearts and follow our desires, but I think there's definitely room to create some sort of framework for how we can live our lives. And so for me personally, I'm really influenced by the Buddhist way of looking at things, the Buddhist way of thinking and living our lives. And when it comes to things such as goodness and compassion, I tend to go along with their views on how to live a good and healthy life. I mean, I may not personally follow them 100% of the time, but I think that it's definitely a good way to live and a good sort of framework and system to follow. And I think it's a good way of being a moral person in a world where perhaps objective morality, objective goodness doesn't exist. So basically the view I take is the view that something is good or an action is good if it is done with the intention of reducing suffering. So for me it's all about intention. If you do something with the intention of reducing suffering in others, then that is as close to good, or to a morally good action, as I believe we can get. So for me, a genuinely good person is someone who makes decisions with the intention of reducing suffering and increasing happiness in others. And there are lots of people who do seemingly selfless or good things, but secretly they're only doing them because they are expecting something in return. And so to me that's not good. It's only good when the intention behind the action is selfless. So I think this type of morality can also be grounded in science and in naturalism. I mean, if we take the view of evolutionary biologists and even philosophers such as Schopenhauer and even Nietzsche to a certain extent, then the world can be seen to be a very cruel place with no meaning to it or no purpose to it. We just sort of all seem to be enslaved by our desires and enslaved by our passions, and the world can basically just be seen to be a very careless place. And so if this is the case and the world really is like this, then compassion towards others and being compassionate and kind and considerate to others, it can in a way be derived directly from our nature, from our very own nature. I mean, it can be seen to be our duty as human beings to help each other in this cruel world full of suffering by acting kindly and compassionately towards others, to try and help reduce their suffering, as other people are experiencing the exact same indifferent world that we are. I also think if we have a compassionate or a healthy state of mind, if you are genuinely a happy person with yourself and kind to others, then they are more likely to be kind to you. They're more likely to reflect that kind of behaviour back at you. And and also if you only plant happy and compassionate thoughts in your mind, then only happy things can come to fruition. I mean, it's the same with negativity. People who are full of hate and anger and stuff like that are just they're just kind of projecting their hateful and negative insecurities onto other people. And so if you are a happy person inside, then you will have no need to be selfish and unkind to anyone. And so in a way, nasty and vicious people themselves are actually suffering, perhaps more than most other people in a way. And so, we have to kind of help them overcome that, I suppose, by being compassionate towards them. So, yeah, I think I agree with Schopenhauer that we can derive a kind of a basic morality from our shared human experience, and that morality itself can be seen to be grounded in compassion and kindness towards others. So, um, yeah, I guess the moral of the story is be nice to each other, be kind to each other, and um, yeah, peace the fuck out.